Hi, I'm Tom Donahue, your host for BROC Talk. Thanks for tuning in today here on CATTV, one of the greatest resources for information in the greater Bennington region. We appreciate you being with us today. I'm the CEO for BROC Community Action. We're located at 332 Orchard Road, right here in Bennington. We serve the entire county of Bennington, and we have many wonderful programs to assist primarily those folks of low income or those living in poverty, but we're also there for people in need. So please be sure to turn to us for various things that might help you get through the pandemic. At BROC Community Action, we say we've been in relief mode, pandemic relief mode, for the better part of a year and a half. Now, as we look towards the future, we're in pandemic recovery mode, helping people get through those situations they might have found themselves in with things like delinquent rent or utility arrearage. So right now we have a number of programs we can help you with, and we hope that you'll turn to us. We can be found easily on the web at BROC, B-R-O-C, broc.org, or you can call our main reception that'll get you one of many experts to assist at 802-775-0878. That's 802-775-0878. Because right now we're implementing a number of different programs, and we can help with what we call application assistance. Not everybody has access to a nice laptop computer or high-speed internet, or maybe a little technologically challenged to fill out very complex, sometimes, applications. And so we'll walk you through that process and help you. If you're delinquent in rent right now, we can assist with that. If you're delinquent in your utility bills, water, sewer, landline phone, we can help with that. And of course, every day, Monday through Friday, we're there at 332 Orchard Road with a food shelf. We want to make sure that no one goes hungry in this area. And now that the Delta is becoming again a threat with the pandemic, masks are beginning to return. You start to see them all around the community again. But we've got thousands of masks. They're two-sided cloth, reusable masks, very nice, comfortable masks, safe. And we've got thousands to distribute to those in need. So we want you to reach out to us. Do you need some masks? Do you and your children need masks? Make sure you reach out to BROC Community Action for that and any other programs that we're happy to help with. Again, you can see all of our programs at broc.org, and you can find us easily on the web there, or just call us at 802-775-0878. Our excellent reception will ask you a few questions to determine which expert in the office to connect you with to assist. We assist in many different ways, from weatherizing your home to putting you in a home. So please consider us during this pandemic period, especially when people are in more need than ever. And we're there to help at BROC Community Action. Now, today's program, I'm excited to have on set Adam Annunziata. Adam heads up a program at BROC Community Action called MBDP. That is the acronym for Micro Business Development Program. At BROC Community Action, we have kind of a two-pronged approach to providing assistance in the greater Bennington region, and that is helping people through crisis and helping people with a path forward. Many times the path forward might be helping find employment, or helping you with credit repair, or a one-to-one match loan program. But one of those other wonderful programs we have as part of the Path Forward is actually helping you start a small business here in Bennington if you're interested. The term for micro business is 5 employees or smaller, including the owner or employer, if you will. So that's the definition of the micro, the very small Vermont businesses. But it is exciting to know that there are hundreds of them around the state of Vermont, hundreds of micro businesses, and that they're being started by organizations like ours that are specifically approved to do this work, and that we have business counselors in our offices. Right here at 332 Orchard Road in Bennington, we have Adam Annunziata, the business counselor that will help you if you're interested in starting a micro business. A lot of people have lost jobs recently because of the pandemic, or been furloughed, or maybe your business closed, and you need some assistance, some business planning, marketing, those kinds of things, and maybe access to financial institutions. Our business counselors are trained and experts in that area and can assist. And they can, again, be reached through our main reception at 775-0878, 802-775-0878, or that whole program, if you want to see more detail on it, is on BROC.org. And of course, I just want to mention, before we start talking to Adam about small business development, I want to mention, of course, we're on all the social media. So we're on, of course, Facebook, also on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and of course, we're on the web at BROC.org. So look us up, friend us, like us, follow us so that you can see these various programs as they develop and as we continue to communicate this information to you, because we want you to be able to access these programs when you're in need, or in this case, if you have a great idea for a micro business and want to go into business for yourself, really now's the time to talk to us about a micro business development program and becoming a participant in that with none other than, and I'll turn now to my good friend and colleague right here on the set today, Adam Annunziata. Adam, welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Rock Talk. Now, I understand from CATTV here, Mike and Jim, that we are on the new set at CATTV, which I'm very excited about.
Yep, brand new set.
It's a great resource. The Bennington area is lucky to have CATTV.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you are with us on 332 Orchard Road, and every day talking to people about business development. You're finding a lot of great ideas, as I understand. People come up with something that might have been a passion, or
yeah, absolutely.
Some skill that they have that they want to turn into a micro business.
Yep, that's kind of where we come in as your business counselor, more or less like your coach. A lot of people come to us that have many years of experience in one field, and they feel that they are ready to now branch out on their own. And we help with the business side. And those are great businesses to start. Typically, people that come in like that have a lot of drive to strike out on their own. And, we kind of act as the coach, kind of giving direction, helping things get off the ground. With doing cash flow analysis, feasibility studies. We give tips on how to market. Social media marketing is huge.
Right.
Everyone's on social media nowadays, so having a presence there is very important.
Right.
And that's where we come in as your counselor, or some people call us coach. It's whichever you prefer.
It's important because a lot of times, and especially with financial institutions, they'll say, we need a business plan. And a lot of people just don't know where to begin with that. So I know that
Right.
That's something you work not only with them individually on, but also do
like a group class.
Classes, or
Right.
that you also record so that people can watch them as well.
Right. So we do teach business planning in kind of more of a class setting, but we do, what you're referring to is our BROC shops. And those are all very deep dives into specific topics. For marketing, I have a history in the culinary field, so I did one on food costing.
Awesome.
Kind of widespread. We try and give deep information in those topics. And if you look us up on YouTube, BROC Talk, you can find them all archived there. Tons of great information.
And I think are they also archived, I believe, they're on BROC.org as well, and I think we have the YouTube there. So this, but they could follow your channel on BROC Talk on YouTube if they
That's correct.
have the access to that. And yeah.
Yep.
And then as you put on new ones, they would be able to access those too.
Yeah, that is correct. Yep.
So if you're somebody like me and have to watch it 2 or 3 times to understand.
As many times as you need.
There you go. Beautiful. So you've certainly found a lot of intriguing ideas, I think. And of course, we won't spill the beans on anybody's great ideas, right?
Yeah, we don't want to spill the beans. That's right.
But maybe a few that have been established, that are safe to talk about. It might be fun to.
So we have businesses that people looking to start businesses in almost any field you could think of. House cleaning, landscaping, almost anything you can think of. It's very vast.
And starts small, and we should
Right.
kind of let people know, we start very small. We help
Right.
you start very small so that you're not making a big investment up front.
Right.
That possibly even, no bricks and mortar to start with.
Right.
I know that we've started people even at farmers markets until they've developed a clientele, and then they've grown into
Right, exactly.
bricks and mortar, or
That's something that we focus on too, is kind of starting from the end. What need does your business fill, as far as income
Right.
and time investment too? There's a lot of talk nowadays about a side hustle, and that's how some of these businesses start. And you
Yep.
start off very small, and thanks to the connectivity that the internet can provide, and
Right.
social media marketing, you can do it very cheap nowadays, on your initial startup. And if you pay attention to certain channels and do some research independently, I mean, you can see that it's not terribly difficult to start up a business at a very small scale. Now, of course, there are bigger businesses that do need brick and mortar, and for those, we try and help find ways to secure funding, which are here and there, grant programs that come around.
I know we've had, I talked to an individual many years ago when I ran the Chamber of Commerce, not here, the Rutland region. And that individual is an artist, so he had a natural proclivity at watercolor was his brush of his palette of choice, or however you
Right.
might want to call that. Anyway, he was fantastic. He still is fantastic. But he kept his day job for a long, long time
Right.
as he developed his own micro business, because he wasn't ready to make that switch yet
Right.
and turn the micro business into a full-time employment. So he kept the day job, kind of what you're referring to as the
Yeah,
side hustle.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Eventually, he was in a place where he felt he was going to go ahead and pull the lever and leave the day job and go out on his own full time. And now he has literally tens of thousands of friends on social media that follow
Oh, wow.
followers, tens of thousands, following him daily,
Wow.
and is able to create the art, put it online daily, and sell it to people who are,
Right.
have to actually compete for it, if you will. So it's worked out famously for him, but he did it the way you just described. And he
Right.
built up a small business slowly, kept the day job
Yeah.
until he was ready to make that transition. After many years doing both, he made the transition, and now he's full-time in
Right.
his own business. And that's a great way to proceed. And so in a way, he has his own bricks and mortar in that he has an art studio, but it's in a small town in Vermont.
Right.
But you don't necessarily you don't have to open in the heart of downtown, although some do. We've had many
Right.
clients that do.
Yeah, for sure.
And then some could remain completely online. So,
Yeah, definitely.
but that's where you help advise them.
For sure. Noting on what you said about having an income, having an income is very important, and starting a business is also very important. But balancing the two, and that's where starting small comes into play. It's keeping your day job so you have an income coming in, and people tend to use some of that money to help fund their business slowly, slowly grow it. And, some people do want to do brick and mortar, but once again, with technology, if you're selling a product, there's tons of outlets via the internet that can ship your products and get your products known worldwide. And, if you're selling products like that, sometimes you don't need a brick and mortar.
Right.
And you keep your overhead very low, and,
Right.
depending on how much income you're looking for the business to make.
Right.
Some people come to us and, they only need to make a few $100s a month, but that covers their, utility costs for their home.
Yeah.
And that's huge. I mean, having those payments covered by your small business is all that some people need.
Right.
So it's not necessarily that we're always trying to build, $1 million businesses. I mean, it would be nice, because
And it can be.
It can be.
You never know.
Right.
And so, I mean, an example of that when I was testifying in the legislature with in Senate Economic Development to try to get more money for this program statewide, there was an individual that actually had succeeded in developing his micro business, not at our shop at BROC Community Action, but at our colleagues up in Burlington, and had a natural talent for making good beer, and turned it into, many people who know good beer will know, Switchback Brewery. And it was able to parlay that into $1 million payroll and 30 employees from being a micro business, a small shop that he started on his own. But I mentioned that because he testified after me, and I was so glad that he testified after me because I don't know how I would follow that act. But the idea that, and the inspiration from Bill was, Bill Cherry, was that, you can start small and turn it into something large, but by the same token, that's not, the expectation is your own. In other words, the folks you work with, you're helping them with their vision. You're not necessarily telling them what it needs to be or how it needs.
For sure.
You're helping, as you said, the coach idea. You're helping pursue their idea.
Yeah, and that all comes into play when we sit down and write your business plan. I'm helping you to write it, but it is the client's vision. It's not my vision. I don't say, do this, not that. I mean, maybe in some extreme cases where there might be something that's slightly off, but for the most part, I'm the coach.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I want to clarify for the viewers too, we don't do financing directly typically, although we do have two programs that might be of interest. One which is ongoing. Adam works with Shelley Ferris, who's actually been on this show before with us down here in Bennington. And one of the things that she does is a matching program. It's called Vermont Match Savings. And we run that through BROC Community Action. And we can actually match your dollars in savings towards a number of things. It could be a home ownership, it could be an education, and it could be a business startup. So you could actually save in the Vermont Match Savings Program that goes through us, and we match those dollars. That's an awesome opportunity.
Dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
Not many ways to surely double your money.
Right, exactly.
It's a great program.
The other one that we're looking forward to soon is called Embrace, and it is a program that was generated because of the pandemic and the negative, of course, impacts that all of us have gone through in the last year and a half, and they continue to languish on as the Delta variant begins to grow throughout the country and the world. And we are looking forward to doing another show soon specifically on that program. Now, what that program does is provides $5,000 in economic relief for businesses that have been impacted by COVID, and pretty much every business has. And this time the legislature was, in their wisdom, willing to expand that definition as we go forward with Embrace 3, as we call it, because we've done it twice during the pandemic, and now coming into the portion we're calling pandemic recovery, we have a third opportunity to provide these grants. And these are grants, not loans. But the legislature, in their wisdom, in the last legislative session, approved these as for startup businesses as well through this process. So we're not ready to come out of the gates with it yet because we're waiting for the final grant awards to the agencies around the state. There's 5 community action organizations in Vermont. We're one of the 5. Once that's completed, we'll want to come back on CATTV and BROC Talk about the Embrace program. But just make a penciled note about that in the future, because we would like to come back to discuss the opportunity through the microbusiness development program that Adam runs at BROC Community Action.
For sure.
The opportunity to access these funds for pandemic recovery grant for your business or a startup grant for your business. Yep. So there's a teaser for the...
There we go. And if you'd like more information on other programs that are available, we have a weekly newsletter called the Weekly Deep Dive.
Yeah, that deep dive is great, by the way, and
Yes.
I read it weekly as well. And I'm not looking to start up anything. I've got my hands full at BROC
Yeah.
Community Action, but I love reading the deep dive.
Yep. So it's chock full of good information. We try and give a little education piece and links to interesting business topics. But if you'd like to stay in the know, you can sign up for our newsletter. If you go to mbdp.org, you can sign up for our newsletter there. If you just scroll down on the homepage, it says sign up for our newsletter, and you just put your first name and your email address, and you'll get the weekly deep dive. Yeah, that easy. And it's not just about the Embrace program that you were talking about. There are other programs available, kind of like what you noted in the beginning.
Right. The other thing I want to mention about that deep dive that people might want to sign up for, this small business newsletter, if you will, is that you've organized things too with the network throughout the state.
Right.
So you're helping people, micro business, small Vermont startup businesses, micro business, to network with each other as well, which is a tremendous resource to be able to put people together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to put you together with them and your colleagues together with them. So you have sort of a support team out there. You don't have to think about starting a small business and be on your own. When you have the micro business development program.
Yep. It is a statewide program, like you noted, available throughout the whole state. So if you live outside of Bennington and Rutland County, you'll be working with a different CAP agency, as we call it.
Community Action Program.
Exactly.
Right. But let's be also clarify for the viewers too today that you'll work with any resident in any of the towns throughout Bennington County.
Correct.
So, and there is an income qualifier. So maybe we can talk about that a little bit. In other words, our goal, our mission at BROC Community Action is to serve primarily those of low income or those living in poverty and help them move their lives through a difficult time or on a path forward. So we do have some income criteria that have to apply to this program. But also with most of our programs, we're willing to talk to anybody in need, because even if you don't happen to fit the cookie cutter definition, the income definition, if you have needs, we want to make sure that you're not turned away and that we're there to assist at BROC Community Action. So
absolutely.
But this one specifically, is it 80% of the area median income? Is that?
That's correct.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's based on household size, depending on the number of people that live in your household, and it's total household income.
Okay.
So all income that's generated within the household is what counts towards your income limit.
Yeah. So the area median income is something that people use as a litmus test a lot when they're gauging these different programs that are available, whether it's NeighborWorks or BROC Community Action or many of the other great organizations in the area. But normally what they'll do is they'll say they'll use the one statewide outside of Chittenden County. And the reason for that is Chittenden County is higher. So the good news is we take that out of the formula because it would skew the rest of the state's average median income.
That's correct.
And make us all make that bar higher. This lowers that bar to a more realistic
that's right.
number, that average income, and it's you can make up to 80% of that average median income level. So the quickest way to find out if you qualify would be to call Adam, who, as you can see, is a very friendly guy, and just run that, have Adam run that for you, and we can make that determination. Once that determination is achieved, then we can just move forward with the assistance. And by the way, did we even mention that there's no cost?
We did not.
So
the best part.
Yeah, my favorite, one of my favorite words, free. So FREE.
Absolutely.
Free.
Yeah,
and
totally
that's
free.
important. Because people say, okay, how much does this cost? I'm interested, but how much is it going to cost? It won't cost you anything. And I should highlight that for all of our programs at BROC Community Action.
It's true.
There is no cost, including the home weatherization, where we can do as much as $10,000 worth of complete envelope weatherization for your home in a week. an average cost of about $10,000, and it is all free. We do not charge for any of our services at BROC Community Action. We're there to help people who cannot afford those services.
Exactly.
And
that's
so
a,
the last thing we want to do
necessity.
is create another barrier.
Right. Weatherization is a necessity up here.
Yeah.
Winters are a bit chilly,
Yeah.
as we all know.
Well, and off topic a little bit, but talking about the many programs that we have, and the nice thing about coming to BROC Community Action, and obviously I'm biased in my opinion about the organization, but I think we do a fantastic job, and we have some tremendous employees, and I call them all BROC stars.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's wonderful is that it is kind of a one-stop shop, so we don't send you door knocking and now go over here and now go over there. What we do is work together as a staff to help people with the various needs you might have or interests, like starting a micro business, so we can refer what we call a warm handoff. It can be the door down the hall, not the building down the street or across town.
Right.
And so I think that's really important to know that many of these programs, when Adam mentioned fuel, if one of those needs that Adam determined was that you're in need of fuel in the middle of February, we can help you with a program called Crisis Fuel, and so on and so forth. That there's a number of layers that that we're able to assist with. We have a lot of resources available, and we're happy to help with those. And we have the people that implement that on your behalf and assist you. Everything that we do is with respect and dignity. It's one of our tenets.
Absolutely. Yep.
So don't ever feel or be too humbled to come to us, because everyone's treated with respect and dignity. Everything's done in confidentiality, so you can share your business secrets with Adam.
I won't tell.
And no one will know until you're ready to launch it.
Exactly. And
then
we'll try and tell as many people as we can.
And then Adam will help you launch it and make sure the word gets out to the world.
Exactly.
Now, interestingly enough, all kidding aside, that is one of the great things about the internet now, that your small micro business in Vermont can be literally worldwide.
Yep.
Thanks to the internet.
Absolutely.
And social media.
For sure. And Vermont does have a lot of unique product offerings. And
Very true.
it's taking those ideas and products and distributing them throughout the country and throughout the world. It's powerful. It's a powerful tool, and it's being harnessed by many now, and part of what I do is try and help people harness that.
Right.
Because it is very powerful, and
Right.
and eyes all over the internet can see, as long as you got an internet connection. Most people have smartphones. It's
Right.
worldwide access right in your pocket. And
Now, and you also have relationships with lenders, so you can, a lot of people say, well, I need some startup dollars, and we always look for people to have skin in the game, but one of the things you can do too is help build that relationship with a lender. And
Yep.
that's a critical piece to get off the ground.
Yep. And we try and do it, by pulling up your bootstraps, minimal funding. I think a lot of people that we work with in their position, taking on debt adds more risk. So we try and mitigate that as best as we can, and think, what do we need? And kind of exactly, what do we need to get started? Sometimes we gotta start a little ugly, but sometimes that's our starting point, and that's where we start from. But you get more and more beautiful as the day goes on.
I love it. I love
As your business builds up. So
yeah, that's great. Well, I got to say, and again, you mentioned the website. I really want to encourage people to go to the website that Adam is referring to. This was in addition to our BROC.org. There is a website that has been created just for the Micro Business Development Program. So the acronym Micro Business Development Program, MBDP. I only say that slow because it's so easy to transpose those letters, and then, of course, the internet will take you somewhere else we don't know. But mbdp.org, O-R-G. It's that simple. And you'll be amazed at that website when you get a look at it. You'll be amazed with the work that the microbusiness around development programs around the state at the 5 community action organizations, again, BROC Community Action being one, responsible for Bennington County particularly, is some tremendous success stories, hundreds.
Yep.
hundreds of success stories of individuals interested in starting their own business. So, listen, we're already out of time.
Wow.
Here at CATTV. We love this resource.
Absolutely. It's been great.
And want to thank Jim and Mike for helping us out on the first show on the new set. We're very excited about that. We're going to get out because our time is up, and we want to keep this to 30 minutes. But I'm Tom Donahue, your host with Adam Nunez, Annunziata. And check us out at broc.org. Thanks for watching.